Have you ever gotten in a disagreement with a family member? Has it ever ended in physical violence? Well, our country has also done that. The Civil War was between the northern and southern states of America. It had an extreme impact on our country and ruined everything we have built till today. Today I will explain how this war started, what happened while the war was going on, and how this war affected our years to come. I'll first talk about how the war started and how it became that we were fighting our own people. The most important reason the war started is because of slavery. The South did not need slaves to make money the North did not need slaves to make money because they had industries and factories. The South did need the slaves because they had a lot of farmland and needed people to work on it. The next reason I would like to talk about is the territory issues that happened before the war. According to PBS.org, the South wished to take slavery into Western areas. The North wanted to keep the Western areas completely white labor alone. This dispute never had an actual ending due to the South just bringing in slaves and then splitting up with the North. The final reason this war took place is because of the election that happened. According to Britannica.com, the election where Abraham Lincoln won in 1860 precipitated the succession of 11 southern states. Due to these reasons, the South split and started the war. Now that we have talked about how the war started, I can now talk about what happened during the war. The first ever battle of the Civil War was the Battle of Bull Run. The South won this battle very surprisingly. This battle led to many others, and according to battlefield.org, the total amount of men who died was 620,000. This number is extremely high because most of the people who died were all Americans. I touched on this a little bit to lead up to the war, but now I'll talk about the North and South economy. The North was much richer than the South because they had the new and improved industries where they can make products for the entire country. The South was still stuck on the old ways and using slaves to make money for themselves and produce crops. Finally, after 4 years, the North outlasted the South. Since the North had factories, like I just stated, they could just make guns and bullets in order to defend themselves. They outlasted the South's strong times, which were in the beginning of the war. The South ran out of the resources and could not produce new ones, so they eventually got defeated. After the war, it was not an easy reconstruction. There were still many issues after the war. History.com states that the KKK that the South in retaliation to the North winning, the KKK became a thing and terrorized Republican leaders. The KKK attacked anyone that agreed with the Northern policies. This was a major event that the government had to put a stop to. There are still many issues that were following the Civil War, but there was nothing to split the states up again. The war still impacts today. The war still impacts US today. People think that the South was in the right and African Americans are lesser people than whites. USnews.com says that most Americans back changing names of schools and mascots due to their racist connotations. This has been going on throughout the years and I think has had a positive impact on the African American community. This war has caused so much stress and anger in the US, and it is finally at rest. This war will forever be remembered. It was quite embarrassing to the Americans that we were fighting our own people. Before the war, we were arguing over human rights. During the war, we were killing our own citizens. And at the end of the war, we are now still impacted by the people who think that this was all okay. No matter how bad America gets, I hope that we'll never get to this point again.